What if I told you one of the most overlooked asset classes in real estate investing could be one of the most profitable real estate ventures for you? It's investing in historic properties. I'm talking about historic buildings, abandoned mansions, century-old hotels, and forgotten factories. Properties most investors ignore. These properties are properties most people ignore because they seem like too much work. Yet, time and time again, I've seen these be massive income opportunities and turn into massive financial wins for those who know how to unlock their value. A study by the National Trust for Historic Preservation found that properties designated historic districts appreciate 5 to 20% faster than non-historic properties in the same area. Now, why is that? Because they're rare. Unlike new developments, you can't just build history. When a historic property is restored properly, it becomes highly desirable, and especially to high-end buyers and high-end renters and high-end tenants. I'll give you a couple examples. There's a building in New York. It's called the Battery Maritime Building. It was built in 1909 as a ferry terminal, and it was abandoned for decades. Developers converted it into a luxury hotel and event space, increasing its value by tens of millions of dollars. Similarly, there's a hotel in Austin, Texas called the Driscoll Hotel. It was built in 1886 and was nearly demolished before investors transformed it into a world-renowned luxury destination. Today it's worth over $100 million. We've done some of these same projects, like maybe on a little smaller scale, but turning a $400,000 or $500,000 building into a multi-million-dollar building. So second off, there's massive tax benefits for investing in historic properties. City, you got your federal and local government tax credits. You got tax abatement, where they'll freeze your taxes on the value of the property, probably about when you purchased it, instead of after the rehab value. They'll freeze it for, a certain length of time, 10, 15 years, something like that. And that's a huge cost savings, because a lot of times taxes are one of your most, expensive monthly costs on your real estate investment. The Federal Historic Tax Credit Program has been around since 1976, offers a 20% tax credit on rehab costs for eligible historic buildings. So let's say you spend $500K restoring a building, you're gonna get $100K of that back on tax credits. So beyond the federal tax incentives, there's also going to be local, city, probably county tax credits and abatements you can apply for. I know several buildings, you'll have to go sit through city council meetings and stuff like that. But in the end, the municipalities and government agencies, they want to see these buildings fixed up. They don't want to see them, just demolished. I mean, this is part of America's history, and you're helping save it. So another example, in Maryland, the Maryland's Heritage Structure Rehabilitation Tax Credit, they provide a 25% credit on qualified rehab expenses. In towns all across the US, it's the same story. There's going to be tax credits in small towns, large towns, that help save these old historic, usually brick and mortar buildings. A lot of them are unreinforced masonry, built in the late 1800s. So on the third thing, where are you going to find these? It could be easy and it can be fun. I'm not going to say challenging, because I do enjoy a challenge. So I would say fun. So a lot of times these are going to be on the MLS, or, sometimes your real estate team, somebody will have a pocket listing or something like that. They know somebody who's got an old building, and they just don't know what to do with it. That's where you can come in. You can be the one with the idea and the plan to reposition this building. So a lot of times they'll be sitting on the MLS for years. People are scared to buy them. But you just have to have the right vision and right plan. As long as you got that, the right vision, the right plan, the right team, these buildings can be massive moneymakers. So unlike traditional real estate, there's way more than one place to find these kind of buildings. It may require a bit more digging. So some of the best resources, besides your traditional MLS, you can take a look on the national and local historic registers to see if there's buildings, places that the governments have on their list that they want rehabbed, and they're just sitting there derelict and nobody knows what to do with them. There's government auctions and foreclosures. A lot of these are local. So they're going to be county, they're going to be city, sometimes federal buildings. I've seen old post offices, which are great for repositioning. Take that old post office. Some of them are big. Some post offices are going to be small. There's going to be larger post offices, great for repositioning into something else. Turn it into a commercial multi-tenant space, turn it into apartments, turn it into mixed-use building. That's my favorite, mixed use. Another thing I'm really passionate about is the people you're around. Start networking with other people that are involved in historic properties. That's where you're going to get the good deals. It's the word of mouth. It's the guy that's got the building who just doesn't know what to do with it. Most investors ignore historic buildings, so they seem complicated, but that's the exact reason they're gonna make you a ton of profit. There's fewer people competing, and the financial and tax incentives are massive. Between rapid appreciation, all the tax credits and grants you can get for these properties, all it takes is a creative mind, the right team to get an old property to make a cash flow cow. And it's a way to own a piece of history while building massive wealth. So if you're looking for an unconventional way to break into real estate investing and historic properties sound interesting to you, the deals are out there, man. You just need to know where to look and who to talk with. Would you consider investing in historic properties?